long and winding, but our team's always grinding. Underneath the starry sky, engines roar, we fly. Sweat beading on our brow. Teamwork's the key right now. We win together, rain or shine. PHG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victories in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victory's in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Wheels burn on the track. PHG is where it's at. Roads long and winding, but our team's always grinding. Underneath the starry sky, engines roar, we fly. Sweat beading on our brow. Teamwork's the key right now. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire.
Good afternoon and welcome to round 7 of season 2 of the GT PHG WS. These are splits 2 and 4 today. We had some great racing yesterday. I am joined in the booth by Mr. Casual. Mr. Casual, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. I was smart and just ate beforehand,
Indeed.
whereas last week I didn't. But how about you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yes, I've learned that lesson the hard way myself, and I definitely had some tacos before we got started today. My favorite breakfast tacos, Panchito Special, potato, egg, and then they mix the chorizo and the beans together to make this meaty bean paste, and it is, fantastic.
Oh yeah, look, can't go wrong with chorizo or Mexican sausage.
Indeed.
For those that don't know, because it's like sausage, but it's also spicy as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's if it's really good, it's a bright orange color, and you're like, that cannot be natural, and it is, and is delicious. Unfortunately, Oak had to tap out this morning. Hopefully, he can join us for the second race today, but if not, we wish him the best. He raced yesterday with Tussin Box, gave us some very exciting races there, and thankfully they were able to join us. Also, Slow Mo was able to join us yesterday as well, and that was great to have him. Real quick, before we dive into what we're doing today, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to our sponsor. Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram. Big thanks to them. So cool to have a sponsor for this league. This is our second season, and it is going very well. For those of you who aren't familiar with what we do here, there is a link pinned in the chat. Click on that link. It'll take you to the Papa's House of Game website. That's what PHG stands for. And you can get all the information, including how to sign up. Sign-ups are still open. You can race one race. You can race all the races. You can race only the ones you like. Get involved. It's a lot of fun. We keep getting new drivers each week, and that is great. We were treated to 2 amazing races yesterday, and split 1 and 3. And let's go ahead and take a look at what these races are. It is Mount Panorama and Group 3 cars. This is a manufacturer series, so they will be using the Group 3 of their chosen manufacturer. They'll be doing 14 laps, 2 times tire wear, 5 times fuel, with the racing softs and racing mediums required. And Mr. Casual, from what we saw last night, it seems to be an issue of fuel more than tire wear. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, with the higher fuel rate of ×5, if your car is already like average on fuel, then yeah, you might need to be mindful of how much you're using. So yeah, it's like So yeah, it seems to be a fuel race unless you're like Moose 21 or Velvet Thunder, aka Tussum Box,
right?
Who love the Viper, and Viper always goes through its tires rather quickly. So
indeed, we saw that with the Ford and the Viper, and also we saw with the depending on the strategy, the drivers finishing on the soft tires seem to struggle a bit there towards the end, with medium runners having a lot more grip in those final laps. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy everybody does. There is a 10-minute qualifying before the race, so everyone will qualify. Let's go ahead and take a look at our splits here. We got Split 2. Do you mind reading through these names for us, Mr. Casual?
Sure thing. We got so obviously this is for the split, not the actual race, but this is what everyone did either on Tuesday or Wednesday night qualifying. So we have, first up is Racer 51 in the Mazda. Then in second we have McNaughty in the Lambo. Then we have in third PHG Arrow in the Genesis. Then we have PHG Vetter in the Chevrolet. Then I did see Shaggy's going to miss. He's having some health related.
That's unfortunate. He is hosting the lobby, so thankfully
so he's not
still
going to
able.
be able.
Still able to host the lobby, but unable to race today. Hope you get better, Shaggy.
Yeah, I hope you feel better. But if he was racing, he would have been fifth. Not sure if anyone's going to take his place though. But going along in sixth is Talon in the Nissan. Then you got seventh, Papa Oso in the Lambo. Then we have our residential proprietor in eighth, PHG Papa in the beloved McLaren. Then in ninth, you had PHG Jazam and Citroen. Then in 10th, PHG Turbo repping Porsche. Then you have 11th, RSR Pablo Chacon, aka Mr. Graphic Designer. in the Lambo. And then in 12th, you have Evolved in the Genesis. 13th is PHG SPC, also in the Genesis. Then in 14th, we have fellow colleague and commentator Joe Collins in the Ferrari. And then last but not least is 15th Metal in the Nissan.
Indeed, and I believe
Okay.
Pablo Chacon isn't going to be able to make it, or at least as far as we know. So Cornbread is stepping up and filling in this split. But Shaggy is taking up a spot in the lobby because he's the host. So it's going to go from 15 drivers to 14 drivers. And again, shout out to RSR Pablo Chacon for designing all these graphics. The graphic you see on the screen here was done by him. And he's been doing a great job for us, getting these thrown together last minute at times. And I'm asking for changes right before we get started, and he's able to get it done. Just real quick, looking at these drivers, I have their times that they put down during the week here in front of me.
Okay.
So if we go to split 2, starting with Racer 51, he did a 2:04.289. It's insane how close these times are.
Because we had a whole bunch, like the bottom end of split 1 was like low 204, so it's pretty close.
And he and Root actually swapped spots. Root raced yesterday instead because Racer 51 couldn't make it. So, but their times were almost identical, literally 3 1,000ths off of each other. And then P2 McNaughty with a 204.391. Arrow has a 204.396. Vetterdan had a 204.427. Shaggy had a 204.435. Talon a 204.530. And this one's really close. Papa Oso 204.531. PHG Papa, the proprietor, with a 204.618. Jazam with a 204.662. Turbo with a 204.763. Pablo Chacon 204.939. Evolved 204.994. SPC 204.998. Mr. Joe Collins a 205.009, and Metal with a 205.252. So all but 2 drivers in the 204s, and the other 2 are just outside the 204s. So very, very tight bunch of drivers. Going to be interesting to see if anybody's able to improve on their lap time. Anything stand out to you before we get started here as far as the drivers or the cars?
Yeah, it looks to be I would say sounds like from their quality times that they all should generally be pretty close. So I'm expecting a pretty competitive 10-minute quality for everyone, considering how tightly packed in they are. It's like they're giving sardines a run for their money.
Indeed, they really are. And I mean, we saw it. There's a lot of people got caught out with the traffic. You don't want to be too close, especially in the middle part going up and down the hill. And then
Oak was saying he had issues.
Yeah. Yep, and that's what started him in the back, and then he ended up having a really great race, battling it out. So it'll be interesting. We got some MR cars. We got a variety of manufacturers. I'm looking here. Lamborghini, Nissan, Mazda, Genesis, Corvette, Porsche, McLaren, Ferrari. Pretty good stuff. I'm not seeing any American muscle this round. We got quite a bit of that yesterday. Oh, and we have Jazam and the Citroen. So good variety here. And it looks like we are about to get started in qualifying.
Nice.
Just let this timer go down, and then the fun can begin.
Yay!
Now, for you, would you try to be first one out, or would you wait a little bit?
I usually try to be like the first one out, or if I know the guy is way quicker than me, then I might not mind being behind someone. But unless it's those two circumstances, then generally, if I can't be first out, I generally wait.
Yeah. Indeed. And it's always weird, you know, you want to be first out, and then the car just sits there, and you're like, come on! We have Arrow here in the Genesis with the Lithograph comics. Again, big thank you to Lithograph. You can scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to Lithograph's Instagram. Followed by Racer51, also with the Lithograph comics. Everybody embracing our sponsor. I love to see it. And the Green Monster Energy. Then McNaughty in his Lithograph Lambo. Ooh, that has a good ring to it. Lithograph Lambo. It's also got the Lewis Hamilton logo there on the front. Very nice.
Okay.
Then, of course, Vetterdan. He's getting more and more stickers. I see myself on there. I see NRL. I see sandwiches. I see a Talon. I see a pencil. Got quite a bit there.
He's collecting stickers like Infinity Stones.
Indeed. Got the blue shell on the front and a wall on his side. Picked up a little damage on the outlap. Which brings us to our friend Turbo in the Porsche. Lithograph Comics. Papa's House of Games. Looking fly as ever.
Nice.
Talon in the pink Under Armour Nissan GTR. Very nice. Team Fart I see on there. Well done, Team Fart. Got a few farters on in this league. And Papa, of course, in the McLaren. We got Lithograph.
Oh, yes.
We got Spider-Man. Very cool. We got the Hulk. Talon going into the pits for fresh tires, no fuel. Shazam in the Citroen PHG mobile. Very cool. Cornbread in the Sheriff Mazda. Y'all better watch out.
Be careful if you're in front of him. He'll be watching.
Move over or get pulled over.
Click it or ticket.
Click it or ticket.
As they like to say.
I like this. The way this looks in the sunrise. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice Genesis. And then, of course, Papa Oso in a Sharkmobile Lambo number 23.
Dun, dun. Dun, dun.
Mr. Joe Collins in the Napa Auto Parts Ferrari. He's got that Napa know-how. Metal in the GTR. Got some Pink Floyd on there.
Ooh.
Very cool. Tool, Slipknot. The Chili's. SVC Cold Trickle in the Kit Kat mobile. I like it. I like it. 777s. Hyundai Genesis has kind of a speed racer vibe to it. We'll go back up ahead with Arrow, who's going to be coming up into the final time here. 1:35.222. He's followed closely by Racer 51. We'll see what kind of time he's able to put down on those softs as they come into the final chicane before the hard left-hander. This turn always catches me out, and there's a weird bump when you get on the throttle.
See, Racer 51's not far behind.
Nope.
So he might be getting a slip.
Yep, a slip in a pole position, I imagine. As half a second quicker than Arrow. McNaughty and Turbo both go into the pits. We'll see what Vetterdan is able to do as he comes across the line up into P2.
All right, not bad.
Go back and see Papa going into the pits
as well. All right.
Shazam across the line, P5.
Okay.
And Who else? Joe Collins.
Let's see.
He was able to put a 207.7.
All right.
Metal crossed the line. Metal coming across. Going to be a 206.7.
Okay.
So several drivers are going to be on their outlap. Racer 51 still behind Arrow. Sparks flying as they tag the wall. Feel like...
Go
ahead.
I was going to say, I wonder if Arrow will continue to stay in front of Racer, or if he'll like, all right, yeah, there's like no more slip for you.
Yeah. Well, Racer was down on their pole lap there as SPC Cold Trickle goes fastest with a 204.086.
Okay. All right.
So there we go. Some more slipstream for Racer 51. Is Arrow improving? No, Arrow not
No. Yeah,
improving.
not quite. Wondering if Arrow will go in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they dove into the pits here for some fresh rubber, and sure enough, it's like you've watched a few of these qualifyings before, Mr. Casual. And oh no, it looks like we lost Mr. Joe Collins. Draxus had a disconnect.
Oh, well, at least it happened now instead of the race, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
Indeed. Let's see if Vetterdan, currently sitting P3 in the Corvette, given that American muscle, he was able to improve, but ever so slightly, as Jazam and Evolved are about to cross the line. Can either improve. Evolved up into P3, 204.535, and he was not looking to finish that one. He was pushing hard, and there we have it. Let's go further back here.
Let's see.
As Papa just finished an outlap and will be on a flyer, so we'll see how this McLaren does. He has not put in an actual time yet. He is now on the move. Or not a representative time. He did put in one lap, but it was not a competitive one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, because he's probably this next lap will be something worthwhile.
And it looks like Joe Collins was able to enter back in, so we'll see how that's handled. Oh, we saw this so much yesterday, just getting on the throttle a little too early, coming out of that hairpin. Yeah. Take a look at that again and just kind of maybe see what his inputs were like here. So he comes in, he's really tight on the wall, and there's that bump. There's that little upset of elevation, and sure enough, puts him right into the wall.
Normally, you're okay getting on the power early with the McLaren, but yeah, like you said, that bump can unsettle the car just enough.
We'll take a look at McNaughty. Currently, best time of nothing really. So he is improving, and he is on a flyer right now, looking to take pole position away from Mr. SPC and make his Lambo drivers proud. Let's see what he's able to do. Coming down into the final
McNaughty's
turn.
getting tired of all of the Genesis being at the top.
Oh, you know he is. Well, at least he's happy it's not the BMW. Says Turbo goes fastest overall. Ooh. Turbo with a 203. McNaughty, oh, that is so tight. McNaughty a 203.798. Just 1/10 off of Turbo's time. That is very impressive as we are now entering into this final lap for most of these drivers. McNaughty currently second. Cole, does he have anything to say about this? It looks like he may get one more lap after this one.
Yeah, because he'll cross the line in time, so he'll have to give it all the beans.
And for those watching, if you are enjoying this stream, if you're enjoying this series, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Cole is able to improve, but not enough to get him ahead of McNaughty. Would appreciate all the help we can get growing this series. The website is pinned in the chat. Go check out the website. I see PD Snow, our graphics designer, aka Pablo Chacon, who is not able to make the race, is able to make the chat. So welcome, PD. Happy to have you here, sir. And it looks like Talon not able to improve there.
Yeah.
And everybody else is there.
Yeah.
I believe C-Dubs just hopped in here for a second. C-Dubs, are you there?
Just jumping in to say, hey guys, sitting poolside in Panama City Beach, watching on my iPad here. Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Just popping in to say hey and enjoying the broadcast. So kick ass.
Well, thank you, C-Dubs. You enjoy the beach, sir. I love that your PCB time is being spent with us. So be sure you apply some sunscreen. We don't need you getting burnt. Come back rested and healthy, and we look forward to having you back in the booth, sir.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy.
As Papa Oso comes across the line, able to improve up to P6. Very nicely done.
Okay.
Turbo sitting pretty on pole for Team Porsche. Trying to get some points. He's got McNaughty very close behind. This is going to be a tight race. We'll see what tires people choose to start on. We saw yesterday, especially in the second race, top 3 drivers on softs, everybody else on mediums. I'm curious if any of these front runners are going to start on the mediums anyways, because it is difficult to overtake here, especially on that first lap with the rolling start.
I mean, since quality's basically done, Turbo will definitely be on softs, I would think. McNaughty, you could argue either way for McNaughty, but I guess I'll go ahead speak on our final results of quali. So, starting on pole, we got PHG Turbo with a 203.693. Then behind him, we have McNaughty with a ever so close 203.798. Then rounding out the podium is PHG SPC with a 203.815. Yeah, that gap between the top 3, really, like, even all the way down to 8th is pretty close. Then in 4th, we have Talon with a 204.103. Then in 5th, we have PHG Arrow with a 204.245. Then 6th, we have Papa Oso with a 204.260. Then 7th, PHG Racer 51, 204.374. And 8th, we have Evolved with a 204.535. Then in 9th, we have PHG Vetterdan with a 204.611. Then we have in 10th place Cornbread with a 205.337. And 11th, we have Metal with 205.620. Then in 12th, we have PHG Jazam 205.687. Then we have, I guess he just couldn't quite hook up a lap, but PHG Papa with a 206.718. And then in 14th, we have fellow colleague Joe Collins with a 207.740.
Indeed. Very tight split. And those drivers there at the back clearly weren't able to get laps put down because we know what they're capable of. So I expect to see some movers and shakers, which we've seen in the last 2 races. We've seen people go from the back and gain 5-6 positions. And it's been very, very tight all the way around. So we got 14 laps. Softs and mediums are required. It'll be interesting to see who does what. And like I was saying, it is a rolling start, which spreads things out a bit, makes it a little less chaotic coming up the hill. but it seemed that we were able to kind of have battles all the way through for various positions the entire race. So we'll see what kind of fuel management these drivers do, and what the tire strategy they have. Any predictions as far as maybe who's going to have the most overtakes all the way to who's going to win the race?
For most overtakes, I'll say Papa probably has a decent shot since he's in the McLaren. Because if he can stay out of trouble, I think starting I think it was almost second last. I think he could get all the way up to, I think, anywhere between 6th and 8th. I think is how far up I think he could move. Maybe more if those up front squabble too much, or they make unnecessary error. But
yeah, and we saw in the last 2 races the pole sitter was pretty dominant to stay in the lead, and kind of didn't seem to have any issues. Do you think it's going to be the same for Turbo?
I mean, as it'll be for Turbo, since he don't really have to worry about overtake, since like you said, it's a rolling start. I think it'll be a matter of getting used to momentary cold tires and then settling in and putting in consistent laps. Because you can be quick, but if your slow lap is really slow, then it's like they're going to catch you up. So I think he'll be looking to put in consistent lap times once his tires get up to temp.
Indeed, and I believe we've just been joined by none other than Mr. Tussenbox. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome, good to hear it. Will you be able to join us for this whole race?
Yeah, I'll be here. I got some work done earlier, and I've decided that that's enough for a Saturday. So, yep, I'll be here for Split 2 and Split 4. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. Tussenbox, a.k.a. Velvet Thunder. Go check him out on Twitch. Mr. Casual on YouTube. Myself on YouTube, obviously, because you're here watching. So you already know what it is. We're having some lobby reset action here. Having some connectivity issues, but getting everybody loaded up and we can get underway. Tussin, were you able to see those qualifying results?
Yeah, I did. And Turbo, I think he's gonna have a pretty tough race. He's got McNaughty, SPC behind him. Those are 2 really fast guys. Thought Racer 51 would be a little bit higher up, but that's another fast driver he's gonna have to watch out for. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a walk in the park for him.
No.
Indeed. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, and you could argue that the Genesis and the Lambo are a bit quicker in some areas than the Porsche is, though the Porsche is just a great all-arounder. You got that straight line power of the Genesis coming up in the slipstream could make that first turn entering the mountain a bit tricky, but it all seemed pretty clean yesterday until the race really got going. So we'll see what happens. It would have been interesting, but I know it would have been utter chaos to see a grid start here. Don't you think, Tussum?
Yeah, the grid here, I think it's the closest packed grid in Gran Turismo. Like the cars, they're not even staggered. I think they start side by side on this track, and there's not much space between cars at all here. So yeah, it would have been quite the sight to see with a standing start.
Yeah, we do that in my lobbies, and but we're in slow road cars, so it's not as crazy. But it would have been turn 1 here must be just chaos in a grid start. But Shaggy wisely opting to do the rolling start here, giving everybody a bit of space and allowing
I think he's
them-
doing it for the stewards because, good lord, I
Right.
bet there would be so many tickets for the stewards to sort through.
Indeed, indeed. Just waiting to get this here lobby set. I'm excited to see what these drivers have in store for us.
Let's see. Though I do remember that round 9 is going to have weather, so yeah. So actually, looking forward to when we get around to round 9. So that'll be interesting.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it basically, if weather's an option, Shaggy said it's going to happen. So if we're at a track that allows for rain, expect there to be rain.
And for those wondering what round 9 is, if you don't know off the top of your head, is Suzuka 30 laps, Group 3.
That is about 29 too many laps for me around Suzuka.
Yeah, I'm okay at Suzuka, but I'm not like, I don't really play the F1 games, so it's like that's probably why I'm not as quick as some people are, because I know some people live and die by the F1
The
games.
F1 tracks and everything, yeah. And Suzuka is a favorite. It's really good for high downforce. I actually have had decent results there when they would do Manu in the wet, and it looks like we are getting started here.
Awesome. Yay. All right. Yeah, I think everyone, unless someone makes a mistake in front of them, I think everyone will be just trying to, like, okay, what kind of grip levels I'm dealing with.
As we get started here, Turbo is on the softs. I just checked back. McNaughty and SPC are on the medium, so Turbo should be able to run away with this one, and barring any mistakes, might make it easy for himself. But we saw yesterday, and Tussum, you can tell us all about it, what it's like to be finishing the race on dying softs, which is what McNaughty and SPC are going to have to do.
Yeah, as long as they play their pitch strategy right and don't overextend on the softs.
Oh,
I do think
we
it'll
are
be
getting a
better.
move off the start. McNaughty up the inside,
Yeah.
and oh my goodness, Turbo able to hold on to it, getting more power down,
Yeah.
and gonna have the inside here as now SPC has taken a position off McNaughty, and now Talon is attacking right back here with McNaughty, who's under all types of pressure from Talon. I wonder if going for that move on Turbo kind of compromised him a little bit, allowing SPC to gain. Any thoughts on that?
It just
It was.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
it was. I would say ambitious, but he may not have known what tires that Turbo was on, and had he taken a lead there, it would have put him, if just for one lap, in a better position to be able to hold off Turbo on those softer tires during the mountain section.
We're gonna go look at this again and get a better idea. So here goes McNaughty up the inside. I kind of thought he was going to get the move done, but Turbo just able to get the power down a little sooner, and being on the softs, having a little more grip. Oh, and it looked like there was just a tiny bit of contact there. Could have been a net code, and then that just put him offline and in the clutches of Talon. But he has been able to stay in front of Talon. Talon on the softs as well as Arrow. So two soft drivers behind him, really applying the pressure as we start lap 2. Turbo still in the lead, followed by SPC, McNaughty, Talon, and Arrow rounding out the top 5, with Racer 51 just on the heels as Talon runs a bit wide but able to bring it back on the track. That has afforded McNaughty a bit of a gap up ahead and put him under pressure from Arrow.
Yeah. It's easy to go wide at T1 because if you cut too much on the inside, that curve will unsettle the car, sending it out wide.
Arrow on the outside of Talon, really wanting to put the move on. That has allowed Racer 51, but Arrow will have the inside. No, he lets Racer 51 go.
Yeah, probably the smart thing to do. You don't want to lose too much time to the cars ahead.
Indeed, yeah, a bit of fighting could cause an issue. Let's take a look at that again See, he just, yep, smartly just backs out of it. Doesn't need to force the issue. He can get back on his racing line.
Yeah, because it's only
and
lap
move
2.
along.
It's like, could fight it, but it's like he's trying to play the long game.
Indeed. We'll kind of scroll back through. Evolved on the mediums. Papa Oso medium. Vetterdan medium. I imagine the rest of these guys are going to be on the medium. Cornbread. Jazam. Joe Collins, Metal, and Papa. Papa losing a position at the start of this race, falling back to last. Going back up. Turbo now with almost a 2-second lead on SPC.
Yeah, he needs to make the most of that soft tire because he'll be on the slower compound on the tail end of the race.
True, and he's already in 2 laps used up a quarter tank of fuel. So has SPC on the mediums. SPC trying to close that gap and keep Turbo within his sights. And McNaughty now starting to catch back up, having Talon. Ooh, another wiggle. Getting quite a few wiggles coming out of these turns. A lot of power oversteer, as Talon would love to get ahead of McNaughty. Racer 51 just behind them.
I think if they actually can work together, they can probably catch back up to SPC.
Indeed, it's just a matter of coordinating that. We got 3 different drivers, 3 different teams, 3 different manufacturers. And Talon sends it up the inside and gets the move done. That allows Racer 51 through as well. That is 2 spots lost there to McNaughty.
Yeah, it's been a rough
Working together there.
Yeah, so much for that. Go back and take a look at that again. So we're on board. We'll be on board with Racer 51 so we get a good view of Talon sending it up the inside at the last second. And that just opens up the spot for Racer 51, taking advantage of the track position. Very nicely done. Smooth and clean.
Yeah, that's what you like to do. You like to make your moves and not lose time.
Indeed, and they were able to do that very nicely as we get a little sideways coming down the hill. The screaming Mazda. Talon putting a bit of a gap now, and McNaughty under pressure from Arrow. Arrow is on the softs, McNaughty on the mediums.
Okay.
So, Tussum, how many laps is McNaughty looking to do versus Arrow behind him on the softs?
Well, if he wants to play it safe without knowing how well his Lambo is on tires, I would say he'd probably want to do 7 and 7. If he can save the tires, then 6-8 is definitely possible.
Okay.
Meaning 8 on the softs.
Softs. We'll find out in a few more laps if he comes in at the end of lap 6 or if he sticks it out for one more. Currently, fastest lap is by Turbo with a 2:03.963.
Okay.
Still maintaining his lead up there. We can see him at the very end of this straight, ahead of SPC and Talon. But Racer 51 is now caught up to Talon. Might he do the same thing that Talon did? No, because Talon goes a bit defensive, and nothing for Racer 51 to do but tuck back in and wait for another opportunity.
Yeah, Talon there was channeling his inner Gandalf there, making sure that Racer 51 didn't get any smart ideas.
You shall not pass. Going through here. This is, I mean, this track is so much fun. It's just hard to do, or at least for me, to be consistent over this many laps. Because especially that part we just went to and then into this braking zone, there's so many places to go wrong. You can see how much work Racer 51's having to do on the steering wheel. I'm curious, Tussum, you're on a wheel, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Casual, you're on controller. I'm curious, do you find being on controller the downhill being rather easy, or do you think it would be easier on a wheel? And then we'll hear your thoughts. Yeah.
So with a controller, it does give you almost cat-like reflexes to react to whatever the car is doing. So you have that. It's just you're handicapped by having more tire wear because you have like with the controller you get artificial grip, and so it helps you out a bit. There's like no setting for it. It's it's like on the developer side sort of thing. So you can't do anything about that. So that's why when you have these races that are high tire wear, you see those that are on controller, they really suffer because they have more grip, but also more wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of depends from person to person. Some are more attuned to it than others. Like I'm pretty decent, but yeah.
It is interesting. I every now and then try to do a lap on a controller, and I'm always thrown off. Tussin, with the wheel, did you find your arms to be a bit worn out by the end of this race yesterday?
Not really. No, I do a fair share of endurance racing here and there. So, like a 14 lap race here wasn't too much of an issue. I mean, the challenging part is just trying to stay consistent over the course of these 14 laps. It's not super easy around here. But, yeah, I mean, to go from controller to wheel or wheel to controller, it's such a weird experience because, like, I drive, like, 2 laps a year on controller nowadays. And it's just, like, the difference between the control that you have on wheel compared to pad. Like your steering radius, your accelerator and brake control, it's just so much more precise on wheel.
Right.
Like on controller, you can catch the car easier, but in my opinion, on wheel, it's harder to lose the car.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. It is interesting as we're seeing this tight bunch here, still chasing down McNaughty. I thought Arrow was going to get it done on the uphill, but McNaughty was able to stay ahead. We're coming to the end of lap 5, so pit window is about to be upon us, depending on how these drivers feel as far as tire wear. Papa Oso gets a little squirrely, getting on the grass a little bit coming out there, but he catches it and is A-okay. We'll take a look at that again here and just kind of see what happens here.
Okay.
Misses the apex a little bit, gets on the grass under throttle, and yep, there you go.
Wide there.
Good save, not too much time lost, and it wasn't like it was onto a big straight, and clearly he has made up that time, catching back up to the tail of Evolved. Gonna go check on our leader now. PHG Turbo now with a 3.5 second lead on SPC. Turbo is in VR. So he is not privy to a lot of information that we are seeing here as far as where everybody else is and what's going on and what fastest lap is. Well, fastest lap goes to you, Turbo, 2:03.963.
I imagine that's quite the experience in VR going up and down the mountain.
Indeed. We're going to ride on board here with Talon, who has caught SPC. Talon is on the softs. So is SPC. Or no, SPC is on the mediums. My apologies. So Talon on the grippier tire as somebody goes off behind. That's Racer 51.
Ooh.
Let's see if we can see
Just
what
caught
happened.
up to the back
yeah,
of those 3 or those 2.
he is probably a bit eager and maybe a little light on the brake. Gets it slowed down in first gear. He wants to get on the throttle and power oversteer. He wanted it. He wanted it. Thank goodness for ghosting. Oh, that's a lot of positions lost. That moves him all the way down to P9. That hurts. As Talon is up into second place because SPC feels confident he can get 8 laps on the softs, and he goes into the pits. That promotes Talon up to P2. Veterdan also in the pits.
Okay.
McNaughty currently sitting P3, and Arrow has not let him breathe. We got Arrow, Evolved, and Papa Oso all right there. Then Racer 51 There's Joe Collins, Cornbread, SPC, and Vetterdan still in the pits.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised at McNalty's pace. He doesn't seem to be in complete control of that car. He seems to be like struggling for overall pace today.
Indeed, as Arrow decides to use the wall to help him slow down a little bit before that hairpin. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I was like, hey, if it works.
If it works and you don't get a pin, I think it's legal. So he continues on. He's really close. He's got to be experiencing some dirty air. As McNaughty runs wide, he is off the track. That allows Arrow ahead. And McNaughty able to tuck back in. Look at that one more time.
Yeah.
They come around here, and he is just pushing. He's got 3 cars really close behind him.
Yeah.
And let's see, does he hit the inside wall? No, but he does make a minor steering adjustment after touching the curb.
Yeah.
And that allows Arrow, thankfully, nobody else able to get through.
Not as bad as that could have been.
No. But Arrow now really got a good gap ahead. And we'll see, does Turbo come into the pits? It is now end of lap 7. No, so he is going to go one more lap. Now, I do know Turbo is exceptionally good on the tires, and he's got enough fuel for another lap, so no issues for him. Talon seemed to be doing well as well. Gonna stay out one more. What does Arrow do? Arrow stays out. McNaughty now in the pits. He's going with the 7 and 7, as well as Papa Oso and Evolved. What's Racer 51 gonna do? Racer 51 staying out. He is on the softs. Joe Collins stays out as well. So, bit of an order shakeup, but because of the strategies, Turbo might lead every lap of this race. Because I believe Talon and Arrow. Let's go look. Papa hasn't made it to the pits yet. He is on his outlap, so he is already pitted.
All right.
So he is done. All that's taken care of. Can he gain any positions here on Jazam?
I think he'll get Shazam. Cornbread will probably be on his way out, I think.
Yep. Cornbread is out. There he is. But Papa able to get a position on Jazam up to P12. Arrow all by himself now.
All right.
The field is spread out, but it's about to bunch back up when these top runners in the softs go to pit. Because Cole Trickle has pit, and so has McNaughty and Vetterdan. Oh my goodness, McNaughty just can't get a break.
No.
He has had pressure this whole race, and that is some serious pressure. Vetterdan must have came out just in between those two. Really, or I guess they're all on, or McNaughty came out just ahead because Vetterdan has already pit, as well as Papa Oso. And then all the way back to Evolved. Very tight running there.
Feel like McNaldy's going to need a lie down after this race.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully he doesn't have any daddy duties after this race, because that sounds exhausting. As Turbo and Talon enter the pits, Arrow follows suit. I imagine we'll see Joe Collins in the pits as well. And that'll be, where does SPC come out? As we have a yellow flag, I wonder if that is for Racer 51. Let's see what happened here. He missed the pits, y'all.
Oh no, it finally happened.
Oh no, I'm on the wrong driver. Where is he?
I think he was like around.
We missed it because it scrambled all the positions. I tried, but yeah, that is not good for Racer 51 because he had 0 fuel. Where are you, Racer 51? Did he drop out? After that,
looks like yeah, we're down to 13.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he had an issue going into the pits, which is easy to do here, and overshoot it, and then there's no getting back because the game will just reset you, and he was out of fuel. So that is Racer 51 running out of fuel out of this race. Cole able to
dang.
take P2 back from Talon, but Talon is very close. Now
Yeah.
Cole is on the softs, Talon on the mediums.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to keep an eye on P1 and P2. Turbo now running his medium stint. He's gonna have to keep the pace up on the mediums because SPC on the softer tires, he's got 6 laps to close a 5-second gap, which can be done with that type of tire offset.
Indeed, indeed. Especially if Cole gets in a rhythm, it can be hard. The only thing Turbo can have to hope for is that Talon is able to put some pressure, but Talon also on the mediums, unfortunately. So it's all hunting time for Mr. Cole Trickle. Want to go check on McNaughty, as looks like he has a little bit of breathing room now. Papa Oso evolved, and something must have happened to Vetterdan, because Vetterdan now back into P9. So he was right there behind McNaughty, but has fallen back to P9. Papa up to P11 now, ahead of Metal and Shazam. So that Racer 51 exit has allowed Papa to move up yet another position, and now he is eyeing that cornbread. You can't have my cornbread. Coming down to finish this lap. We'll put him in a good place. Papa on the softs, cornbread also on the softs. And we'll be checking back in with our race leaders periodically to see how that gap is doing.
Yeah, I was going to say they can have more my cornbread because I actually don't really care for cornbread. I've tried it. It's just too dry for me.
You gotta have the right cornbread. That's because you didn't have the right cornbread, my friend. You gotta have some moist cornbread, where it's almost like a muffin. That's some good stuff, I tell you what. Yep, and it looks like he's already pulled within a second closer than he was at the end of that last lap. So Cole is on a mission.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Turbo because it's like he's got the gap now, but it's ever closing gap.
And Talon falling back now. Arrow's in a nice spot. He doesn't have much pressure. He is on the mediums. Should be some good comfy racing considering that first stint he was tied up there with McNaughty and Evolved, making things a bit hectic. McNaughty now with some good breathing room as well. Papa Oso doing a good job in the Lamborghini, followed by Evolved in the Genesis, Joe Collins in the Ferrari, Vetterdan, Cornbread, Papa, and then we got Metal and Shazam bringing up the rear. So even though, I mean, this is split too, so there's good points on the table for all the manufacturers here. So even coming in 13th is still going to bring in a good haul of points for these guys.
All right.
And look,
So we got Turbo with a 3-second lead over Cole. So he's gained about 2.5 seconds so far. It looks like this battle might come to head with 1 or 2 laps to go if Cole can keep up that pace.
and luckily for Turbo, this is not the easiest track to overtake. So if Turbo can manage to not make any major mistakes, he could still keep SPC by. But we know that Cole can be aggressive. He has the name Cole Trickle for a reason, and he can definitely make a good pass, especially if he's going to have a tire advantage. And this is something we saw between you and Oak, but for several laps of you guys just swapping positions, waiting for the other to make a mistake and then take advantage of it, and then going on as you guys were both on very different tire strategies.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult to keep ahead of Oak in that BMW. The BMW seemed really, really dominant around here.
It sure did. And I mean, we saw it with Jorge, right? Just absolutely running away in that top split. SPC looking to set the fastest lap now, but Turbo definitely going to get those bonus points for most laps led. As SPC comes across the line, he is unable to take that fastest lap away, a 2:04.065. Turbo still managing to hold on to the fastest lap. Talon still keeping that gap, but look, McNaughty has caught up to Arrow. McNaughty is on the softs. Let's see if anything could happen. Arrow, I said Arrow had some breathing room. That breathing room is all gone.
Yeah.
And getting a great look at the back of that Genesis. Is he about to get a look at the back of the Lambo? No, McNaughty decides not to send it. He learned from his lap 1 attempt and is going to hold off from doing anything. And Papa Oso pretty far behind there, so looking like if McNaughty can get on the throttle, there we go. Smooth, no twitch there at the steering wheel.
I was going to say he might try to do it on the back straight.
Yep, just keep close enough as Arrow scrapes the wall there. It's allowing McNaughty even closer. McNaughty's going to have to lift a little bit. Oh my goodness, this is very close to be entering in this heavy braking zone, and you can hear McNaughty backing out ever so slightly, trying to build up a little bit of a gap, but not too much, because he wants to be able to make that move going into the final chicane. As they come down the downhill, you can just see how close the walls are, and it's just tight and swerving and weaving as he gets it slowed down, and he wants to get on the throttle early, not to do what Racer 51 did, keeps it straight, and here we go. McNaughty chasing down Arrow. Take a look from the back of Arrow's car with that big old PHG wing. And as you can see, the sun has gone down. The lights are on. Here goes McNaughty, full send.
Boom.
And he goes too deep. He goes too deep. Take a look at that again. You can see here, there's McNaughty. He's like, I got the overspeed. I got the slipstream. He wants it, and he goes for it and just can't get it slowed down no matter how hard he tries. And good on Arrow keeping it together. Let's go take a look at that gap for the lead, as it is now almost within a second.
Yes, running out of time, so it'll definitely.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the final lap.
It's probably the best time to catch up to the car ahead, because this entire time he's pretty much had clean air. He's able to keep his tires in pretty good condition. So catching up to him towards the end of this final lap, he'll have one lap to do it, and I think with the power of that, I think he's in the Genesis. I think he'll be able to make a move down one of these long straights, especially over the Porsche, which I don't think has the greatest top end.
No. It doesn't, but you can see his front right is definitely wearing. Track temperatures will be cooling off too since the sun has gone down, so might be a little concerned with a little bit on his grip on the left-handers, but as far as getting onto the throttle, doesn't seem to be an issue, as he clearly has gotten a better exit than Turbo. About to be in that 1 second range, going to get a little bit of toe here down into the final chicane. Not going to be close enough to pull a move, but definitely going to be close enough for a spicy final lap.
Okay.
Might come down to that chicane in the final lap. We'll see, as he is clearly, you can see under braking just how much SPC is able to pull on Turbo. So clearly just having that much more grip on the softer compound, able to get it slowed down. Final lap for the lead.
Yeah, I expect SBC to make up some more ground going up and down the mountain since he's on the softer compound.
Indeed. He's now gone purple as well. Might steal that final lap at the end. So far, Turbo has led every lap of this race. He does not want to give that up. But Cole is now, he's right there. He is on him, just waiting for the opportunity to present itself as we come around this technical sector and up towards the top of the hill, running a little wide but keeping it pinned, using every inch of track, which is difficult when you have those big curbs and then a wall attached to those big curbs. Keeping it together. Turbo able to pull away a little bit, and you can see that SPC lost over a second in that sector. So struggling on the uphill, now coming in the downhill. Turbo looks like he has a bit of an issue. Takes it too narrow, running too deep, and now that's going to put Cole in striking distance. That was unfortunate. It looked like he locked up a little bit on the brakes and got offline, which is easy to do in that downhill flow. Turbo's going to have to go defensive here. Let's see what happens. He is in VR. He's got to be checking his mirrors. Surprisingly, SPC does not send it on him. I wonder if it's a lack of confidence. Yeah, it looked like he backed out of it. I don't know if he necessarily felt confident in his abilities, and he is very low on fuel. And it looks like Turbo gonna come across the line, start to finish victory. Congratulations to Turbo, SPC, then Talon, McNaughty.
He did run out of fuel at the very end.
The very end. Wow. Evolved coming across P5. Joe Collins with an excellent race up to P6.
Oh, nice.
Better than P7. Arrow out of fuel. Cornbread, can he get across the line? Cornbread's ahead. Papa Oso's ahead. Papa, where are you? Papa is not going to make it. Arrow across the line. Papa now running low on, everybody running low on fuel.
Yeah.
You could tell people were pushing it harder than they had done in practice as Metal sends it down up the inside of Jazam. It's going to be a drag race across the line. Who is it going to be? Jazam. Let's see if we can see that again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not going to let us. That was exciting. Battle for first, battle for last.
Oh, goodness me.
That is pole position and clean race for Turbo. Excellent stuff. Oh, I loved it. Great job, everybody. Tussum, will you take us through these results, please?
All right, so pulling off the Grand Slam, PHG Turbo. He got pole, fastest lap, won the race, and led every lap. Close behind was PHG SPC in P2, and Talon will take the final podium position. P4 was McNaughty in the Huracan, followed by Evolved in the Genesis, Jay Collins in P6, Vetter Dan in the sole American car in this race, and then Cornbread in P8. After that, we've got Papa Oso in P9, PHG Arrow in 10th, PHG Papa made his way up to 11th. Jazam just narrowly edged out Metal in that drag race to the finish, and unfortunately, Racer 51 with the pit lane mishap will take P14 with a DNF.
Wow. That was excellent. I mean, I was expecting Split 2 to provide a great race for us, and sure enough, these drivers really put it together. Well, I'll ask you this first, Mr. Casual. Who is your driver of this race?
Well, for me, I think I'm actually going to end up giving it to McNaughty because, good Lord, have mercy. That guy had just about every car on the track behind him at one point or another, and it's like, I mean, we all like racing each other, but it's like when your entire race is literally, it's like, all right, trying to make your way forward, but not trying to be so aggressive that you lose out like it happened a few times. So for me, it'll be McNaughty because, yeah, he Yeah, so many cars trying to line him up.
Indeed, indeed. And how about yourself, Tussum?
I'm going to give it to SPC. He tried to make I don't know if you would call it the alternate strategy. Um, yeah, he tried to make that strategy work, just fell short in the end by less than a half a second. Um, it's one of those things where, like, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't say beating myself up over it. I'd be like, what if
Mhm.
I took this one corner on lap 7 a little bit differently? It's like, was there one minor thing that he could have changed
Right.
that could have put him in P1 instead of P2?
Indeed, indeed. It was incredible to watch that. Him just close them down and just unfortunately not able to get it
Yeah.
done there. I got to give it to my boy Turbo. I mean, I am biased, but also that was a great job, and he was under pressure there that last stint. That was a lot. I do want to point out though, most overtakes and just honorable mention to Joe Collins, who did start last and got his way up to P6. So big shout out to Joe Collins having an incredible race, but I got to give it to my man Turbo. Excellent stuff. Well, y'all, we have another race for you coming up. Same track, different drivers. I am T Case here with Mr. Casual and Tussin Box, and we're going to take a short break, and then we will be back for the next race. So if you need to use the potty, you need a snack, you need to refill your beverage, now's the time to do it. And then please come back for this final race. It's going to be a doozy.
Wheels burn on the track. PHG is where it's at. Roads long and winding, but our team's always grinding. Underneath the starry sky, engines roar, we fly. Sweat beading on our brow. Teamwork's the key right now. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victories in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victory's in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Teams always grinding underneath the starry sky. Engines roar, we fly. Sweat beading on our brow. Teamwork's the key right now. We win together. Rain or shine, PHG forever. Crossing the line. Gasoline and fire. Chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane. Victories in our name. We win together. Rain or shine, PSG forever. Crossing the line. Gasoline and fire. Chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane. Victor's in our name. We win together. Rain or shine. PSG forever. Crossing the line.
And we're back just like that. We went away and now we're here. Welcome back to round 7 of season 2 of the GT PHG WS. That stands for Gran Turismo Papa's House of Game World Series. I am T-Case. I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Casual and Tussenbox. Welcome back from the break, Mr. Casual. You feeling up for this next race?
Yeah, I was like that. Had quite the qualifying in the lead up to that race because we thought it'd be pretty tight, and we had the first 8 or 9 cars within a second of each other. And then the top 3 were like within the 10th and a half. So it's like, yeah, it was a pretty jam-packed quali leading up to not chaotic but busy race.
Busy race, yeah, eventful. And how about yourself, Tussem?
Yep, looking forward to this final race of the weekend. Hopefully we get some similar action like we've seen in the previous 3 races.
And I think we will, because Shaggy has done such a good job of how he has set this league up. For those who aren't familiar, we do qualifying during the week. So everybody qualifies during the week. Same track, same car, conditions. Their qualifying time puts them into their split. So all these drivers in the split have close qualifying times. So typically gives us very tight racing. Before we get into the race, a couple things. If you're interested in the PHG World Series, please click on the link pinned in the chat. It'll take you to the Papa's House of Game website. You can still sign up for this league. You can even sign up for the very last race. It doesn't matter. We just want you to be here. We want you to race with us. Big thank you to Joe Collins for the $10. Great racing, my friend. Well done. And I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor. Y'all, we got a sponsor because we're cool like that. And our sponsor is, if you didn't already know, now you do, Lithograph Comics. Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast, bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram. Go check him out. Give him some love. Big thank you for your support. We appreciate it, Greg. And we are excited to have you along with us. We've already seen a lot of drivers with the Lithograph decal on their cars, courtesy, I believe, of Mr. Joe Collins, who figures out a way to get every type of decal in the game. If y'all are trying to get your decals in the game, hit up Joe Collins. He is the man for it. Let's go take a look at, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. The round info. We are at Mount Panorama. We are doing 14 laps, and by we I mean them, because I'm not doing this. 2 times tire wear, 5 times fuel. Racing softs and racing mediums are required. Group 3 machinery of their chosen manufacturers. This is the cars they qualified with during the week. This is the manufacturer they've been using all series. And it has turned into some good fun. We're seeing some pros and cons of different manufacturers around here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at who is going to be driving in the split. Tuzum, if you don't mind reading us through our drivers for today.
Sure thing. So we have Cornbread for Team Mazda, RSR Zilla for Team Lexus. I do believe there's going to be some changes to the grid once we get settled. We have MMR Yeti for Team Lamborghini, Dirt McGirt CBR also for Team Lamborghini, PHG Nasty for Team Ford, AGRT Chase for AMG, Pub Josh 76 for Team Ford, Slow-Mo, hopefully he's able to make the race, but he'll be driving for Lexus, PHG Ironfix QC driving for Audi, Angry Fredbird driving for Genesis, Nick B driving for Lamborghini, Real Shanman 92 driving for Toyota. Dawan, I don't know. Do we pronounce the J in his name? I don't remember.
I've been saying Dijon.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. He's also known as D. Smith. So
D. Smith, driver for Team BMW, and PhD Horn of Plenty as a reserve driver for this split.
Indeed, and it's looking like Horn of Plenty was able to make it. Slow-Mo able to make it. I see Pyro is stepping in. Anybody else not listed there? So that's looking pretty good. Looking at these times that these drivers put in, because I am privy to such information. Starting there, well, we already had Cornbread race in a previous split. So Zilla would be the next one up. What kind of time did Zilla put down? RSR Zilla with a 2:05.795. So actually, very respectable time. Let's see. Next on the list, did Yeti put down a time? I don't think Yeti was able to put down a time. Or yes, they must have, because they're on the list. I'm just not seeing them as I look at it. But yeah, so it's a little jumbled up here. Dijon technically had the slowest time. D. Smith with a 2:10.291. So quite the variety of times here, going all the way through. Our fellow broadcaster Slow-Mo, he had a 2:07.4. His brother Angry Fredbird had a 2:08.509. So, you know, a good mix of times, but really not all that far off. I'm curious to see, once they get on track together, how these drivers are going to do. Do we have any cars we haven't seen yet this weekend? I think the Mustang we haven't seen. Have we seen? I don't think we've... Have we seen the Lexus already? Somebody was using the Lexus, right? Maybe not.
Hold on. Not sure about Lexus, but I was like, I don't know if we've seen Audi.
No, we have not seen Audi. But I believe everybody else we have. So we've seen the Ford GT race car, which Josh is using.
Yeah.
But we have Nasty opting to use the Mustang. That's a cool thing about the Ford, is you do have multiple choices in your car choice. So it's looking like we're going to get qualifying underway here pretty soon.
All right.
Which will be good. Any predictions as far as what our poll time is going to be, Tussum?
Well, I know Pyro is in there, so it's going to skew the results a little bit. I'm going to say that for him, I think he's capable of 203s. I'm going to put him at a 203.7.
All right, 203.7. Yeah, I agree. He is a solid driver. I believe he likes this track as well. He just wasn't able to make qualifying. So, should be interesting. And we've seen how strong the Genesis is around here. So, that'll be interesting to see. As far as, aside from Pyro, Mr. Casual, do you have a prediction for P2 on the starting grid?
I was going to say, I was looking at either Iron Fix or Hop. I was like, they could, because like Horn usually can get a pretty decent time in.
He's got good qualifying pace.
Yeah, if only I could ever learn skill, I might actually get somewhere.
Nick B here leading us out the pits.
Okay.
And the sharked out Lamborghini. Oh no, D. Smith didn't get entered.
Uh-oh.
Because you gotta click the green check before they start. That is unfortunate. I see a bunch of drivers have not left the pits yet. As we look on board here with Nasty and the Mustang, the Booty Sweat High Times, Slow-Mo driving the Flexus Lexus, the purple and gold, I like it.
Oh, yes.
And we have Chase in the armied out AMG.
All right.
Scylla and the Lexus as well.
All right.
Angry Fredbird and the Genesis.
2 Lexus. Or Lexi.
Lexuses. BMW of T. Calvert.
All right.
Another Lambo. MMR Yeti. Moose Mafia Racing.
Okay.
Iron Fix. I really do enjoy his Audi livery. They look good. And the Lone R8. Be interesting to see how this one does around here. Horn of Plenty in the Frenchies. Mustard and Heinz ketchup. Hot dog mobile of the Porsche. Hellman's. I see my stickers on there, so I can't give them any flack. Looking good, Horn. Then we have the Mountain Dew Code Red of Pub Josh.
Ooh, nice.
I believe we're
Been a while
gonna
since
get
I've had Code Red.
a lobby reset. I think there was a bit of an issue. We'll see what happens here, but if not, Nick on his hot lap. Oh, okay. No, it looks like everything's cleared up here, so we are going to continue on. Unfortunately, not everybody entered the race. So, but it looks like Pyro might be hanging out in the pits, opting not to qualify.
Okay. And I've never really had a chance to say it, but I was going to say, I wonder how long until Genesis gets nerfed, because for a while, they were a brand partner of PD, and I think it was this year that I guess they decided part ways or couldn't come into an agreement, and they're no longer a sponsor. So I'm wondering if at some point the favoritism towards Genesis might fade away.
Yeah, because I was about to say, until I didn't realize the partnership had ended. I was like, aren't they partners? Of course it's going to be good. And we saw that with Toyota when they were doing all the stuff with Toyota. That was when the Supra was the dominant Group 3 car. So
Yeah.
PD not hiding any favoritism there, I don't think.
Yeah, they'll never say there is, but it's like, okay, what's going on here?
I really don't pay attention too much to the BOP changes, mainly because I don't do a lot of Group 3 or 4 racing. But when I do, I typically pick the car I like more so than the better car, because I'm not in the lobbies where it matters. You know, when you're in top split, you better be in the best car. But you know,
Yeah,
in the
pretty
low A lobbies that I race in, and those lobbies, it's not as big of a deal to be in the best car. As Nasty takes pole position, Zilla and Angry Fredbird nose to tail, coming down to set their first time. Surprising not to see any drivers diving into the pits, as Angry Fredbird is going to come across the line.
And he's got third.
And better time than Zilla. That was surprising to me, as Zilla's just so close to him. See if Zilla can get by, or if he's just going to continue to push along with Angry Fredbird.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to be Zilla in that situation unless he's just solely there to give Fredbird a bump draft. But yeah, in qualifying, that is not where I would want to be.
And he saves it barely. I want to take a look at that again. Right on board with Zilla, and watch House. Did it? Oh, it didn't trigger. Never mind. I was hoping to see that squirreliness, but for some reason the Z button didn't want to do what it was supposed to. Going back. So Pyro is out of the pits.
Okay.
Looking to set a qualifying time. I wasn't sure if he was going to stay in the pits or not, but
All right.
he is on his first flying lap, as he does what we've seen so many drivers do. Well, let's make sure the replay's working. Okay, it is working.
All right.
We can,
Let's see. Did he get loose or?
yep, it's the power oversteer. When you come over that little crest, it really hurts you. So Nasty looking good. Currently in P1 with a 206.869.
I know Chuck's gotta be happy with that.
Indeed. Nick B in P2. Angry Fredbird still sitting in P3. Very impressive.
All right.
With MMR Yeti just behind him. Is Angry Fredbird able to improve? No, but RSR Zilla up there into P2 now. And Yeti goes P1 with a 206.187.
Iron Fix took it.
Oh, and Iron Fix now with a 206.187. I see. Horn of Plenty coming across the line. Where is he going to be? He moves up to P5 with a 208.0.
Okay. And I've seen Hop improved on his time as well.
Very nice, very nice. And now Chase setting the purple first sector. Looks like he runs a bit deep, but keeps it pointed in the right direction. We got Real just behind him in the Supra. Coming up the hill. Keeping the car planted.
Okay.
I like the AMG around this track. That's actually one of my favorite cars to drive around here. Is the AMG. I feel like it does really well.
Yeah, I never really drove the AMG all that much. Don't hate it or anything, just never really grabbed me for the most part. I have driven the newer one,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
The newer one I definitely like, but before that one came out, I was using the previous one. But they both were good cars. Tussum, I'm curious. I mean, I know you're with Dodge. If you could pick another manufacturer specifically for this race, who would you pick and why?
After what I saw yesterday, BMW.
BMW.
Because it just seems like it's the best overall for this track. I mean, maybe Genesis, but
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks like the BMW just has like a slight edge over the Genesis.
Indeed, yeah. It definitely has showed with the couple races we saw the BMW drivers in. Oh, as Chase makes a crucial mistake there.
Dang.
And it's just another issue of power oversteer, I think. There is an awkward bump kind of in the middle of the track here, right there. And yep, go over the bump and get on the throttle, and that's exactly what happens. Great demonstration. Thank you for showing us how that works. Iron Fix coming up the hill, currently on pole in the Audi R8. Have either of you guys driven this car?
Not recently, no.
It's been
I don't think so.
I want to say I tried it like a long time ago, and I couldn't drive it to save my life and never went back. Though I do enjoy the Audi TT in the Group 4, as he is now purple by 0.3.
All right.
Where is Yeti at? Yeti is just ahead. We'll go on board with Yeti, see if they're able to improve. Perhaps take. They would need to be up by at least 0.3 to get on Iron Fix's level.
Let's see.
Unable to improve on the fastest lap, but he's improved on his best lap.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Angry Fredbird just ahead of him.
All right. Ripper.
Zilla goes on pole. Yeti in P2. Iron Fix in P2. Very nicely done. Angry Fredbird up to 7th. Here comes Horn of Plenty.
Okay.
So Zilla with the 205.285. That is the Lexus. Slow-mo up to P8. Where's Horn gonna be? Can he keep it on the track?
Yeah, bit wide there.
This is that lap.
Oh, he's in it. I didn't realize his lap time was already.
It was way off.
Like
Yeah,
220.
that's
Wait a second.
Here
just
comes
a little bit.
Pyro. Oh, Pyro not able to make it by. And I do think Dijon is going to be able to get in the race. They had to reset the lobby, and then he did not click back in. But Shaggy can set the grid order. Tussin, will you take us through the qualifying results, please?
So on pole position with a 205.285, we have RSR Zilla. Lining up to him on the front row is PHG Iron Fix QC. Second row is set by MMR Yeti, followed by Pub Josh 76 in P4. At fifth place, we have PHG Nasty, followed by Nick B. On the fourth row of the grid, there's Angry Fredbird and Slow-Mo in P8. We have PHG Horn of Plenty starting from 9th, AGRT Chase in 10th. In 11th, Real Shanman 92, followed by T. Calvert. And starting in 13th with a 212.9, PHG Pyro. It's not really a representative time, I don't think. Maybe he still wanted to do the last to first challenge.
Well, he got cut off right there at the end. He was trying to make it across, but unfortunately ran out of time. He did have that unfortunate spin as well, which I'm sure ruined one of his laps and messed up what he was wanting to do. So a bit more spread out as we enter the last split of the race weekend. Again, if y'all are interested in this league, website pinned in the chat, click on that link. It'll take you there and give you all the information you want. I'm curious, Tussum, where do you think Pyro's going to finish this race? Starting there at the back.
I mean, I think he's on for a podium as long as he keeps the car out of the walls, moving forward, and at a relatively high rate of speed. I think he's on for a podium today.
A podium. And Mr. Casual, any predictions as far as who's going to win this race? Do you think it's going to continue with our pole sitter? Or might this one be the one that shakes it up?
I think if Pyro can keep it pointed in the right direction, I think he'll have a pretty good chance. If not win, then at the very least challenge for the win. And a bit off topic, but I'll make a prediction that Hop will make a mistake on. We'll say lap 9.
Lap 9? Okay.
He's forcing commentator curses now.
He's forcing it. Well, I think it's going to do the reverse because we all, for those of you who don't know, Hop, a.k.a. Horn of Plenty, awesome dude, great qualifier. He does tend to struggle in the entire race. We saw him with a lot of action last week. I mean, they were battling. I think he battled the entire race, and then right there at the end, definitely had an issue and fell back. So it is going to be interesting to see. I see the proprietor himself has entered the chat. That's Papa's House of Game. Y'all be sure to click that link pinned in the chat so you can see more information not only about this league, but about Papa's House of Game. It's an excellent community. I know we all love being a part of it.
Yeah, because I'm using my forced commentator's curse to motivate Horn of Plenty to, okay, you think I'm going to bend it like I always do? Show you.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to make you eat your own words, man. Yeah, indeed. Y'all, if you are enjoying the races today, please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, give some love to Mr. Casual on YouTube and Tussum Box on Twitch. They both do streaming and are awesome gentlemen. I've enjoyed getting to know both of y'all this season. It's been a lot of fun. Tussum, I've been seeing you on the racing side of NRL for a while now, but good to have you in the booth with us and getting to know each other more. I believe we're going to get started soon. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I guess P1, it just makes sense to start on softs. I'm curious, how many drivers do you think are going to start on the softs? Because we saw quite a few in the last race start on softs.
I don't know. For me, I usually try to end on the softer tire because the car is lighter. But that doesn't really matter in this race because like you're pretty much burning almost all of your fuel for each one of your stints, no matter if you do 6 and 8 or 7 and 7. So, yeah, I mean, I guess in this case, if you're starting towards the front, the softs will be better just to try to pull away from everybody else. But it could also be beneficial to start on the mediums and hope that there's a couple people behind you on the softs and you can hold them up for a little bit so that way they're not really maximizing their soft stint and get yourself a little bit more advantage towards the end of the race.
Indeed, and we saw that McNaughty starting on the mediums did get put under quite a bit of pressure as the drivers are taking to the grid. We see Zilla on the softs, Iron Fix on the softs, Yeti on the softs, Pub on the mediums, softs, mediums. So a mix there as we get ready to go green. And here we go, RSR Zilla leading the pack in the Lexus coming into turn 1. And it does seem like P1 gets a bit of an advantage on the start, but you can see Iron Fix closing the gap, and they stay single file further behind. And it looks like already Zilla is pulling away. Iron Fix now under pressure from Yeti. Is Yeti going to try to put a move? Coming up the hill, two mid-engine cars, both on the racing softs. Yeti thinks better of it as Josh gets all over the curbs and all kinds of squirrely. We're going to go back and take a look at that again as things seem to have calmed down a little bit. Let's see how he was able to save that. I don't know. It looked violent with the curbs here. Let's see. Looks like, too much on the inside. Oh, and then he gets bumped from behind there. And there goes his Ford teammate, Nasty, all the way through. He's got damage as well on the front left. So already some drama to start out. Pub Josh back in 6th place. Looks like Zilla doing well up there. Iron Fix, Yeti. Then we have Nick B and Nasty, who took advantage of the incident there with Pub Josh. Any thoughts on that collision and contact tussle between the 4 teammates?
I mean, it's like Formula One. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but like the number 1 rule of Formula One is to not make contact with your teammate. It's always unfortunate to see because, you know, the Fords, I was going to say they're not that strong here, but Moose did get a podium in Split 1 in the 2018 Ford GT. I think at this point they need to, you know, try to put that behind them and work together to try to gain a few positions.
Yeah, and it did look a bit kind of a start of the race incident where, you know, Josh was out of control a bit coming off that curb. I think that caught Nasty out a little bit, and then they both end up losing positions to Nick B. So it definitely hurt both of them, but now it seems like they've been able to settle back in as Yeti again looking to put pressure on Iron Fix for P2, the 2 Canadian drivers. Hey?
Oh, yeah. It'd be interesting if they can make the most of their softs as opposed to those behind that will be going on to the softs towards the end of the race.
If they can, it looks like kind of Zilla's checked out a bit up there. So if these guys can not squabble too much and, you know, bump draft on the straights if you can, they're in kind of similar machinery. Maybe they can catch Zilla, but I think we've seen that the big V8 FR cars do really well around here. So it'll be interesting to see if they are able to catch Zilla, as it looks like Yeti has picked up a little bit of damage. Hopefully that gets cleared before the straight, because that can really hurt them as they get on the gas, and sure enough, cleared just in time. He is just over a second off of Josh, and we'll go further back now. Nick B continuing to be pressured by Nasty. And then you got, looks like Chase got ahead of Josh as well back there. And it looks like Nasty's going to go for the move. They go side by side. Nasty getting ahead before the braking zone. Is he going to be able to stay ahead? Yes, he is. Very nicely done using that overspeed to make it work for him. So you can see here drafting a bit, then getting alongside. And then there's nothing that Nick can do other than let him go.
Making Chuck proud.
There he goes, making Chuck proud. Talking about you, Mustang Chuck. As we got Chase up into P6 ahead of Josh. Further back, Dejan, who I believe started last, now up into P8 because they were not able to qualify. So there he is in the BMW. The BMW, as we know, is dominant around here. And Slow-Mo in the Lexus. Then we got Pyro already up to P10. Followed by Angry Fredbird, who dropped back a little bit. Horn of Plenty in P12. So some stuff happened in that further back mid-pack, because all these people are out of position from where they started. And then T. Calvert bringing up the rear in the BMW. We're back on board with our leader. Now with almost a 4-second gap to Iron Fix and Yeti. Iron Fix has pulled away a little bit from MMR Yeti. So a little bit of a gap forming. Yeti now out of slipstream range, maybe starting to think about tire wear and fuel wear, as they are on the soft, so they'll be wanting to do, believe it was 8 laps on the softs if they can get it.
Yeah, I think they could go longer if they had if the fuel was a bit lower. But so, yeah, I think they all would probably run them until about maybe 35% tires, but obviously can't do that if you don't have any fuel.
Indeed, and we can see just how close Josh is to Nick B. Just half a second between the two of them.
Yeah.
Josh in the Code Red Ford GT. And it looks like not able to take that turn as well as Nick now starts to close up on Chase just ahead of him.
Starting to get a little bit of a field spread between the drivers, kind of separating into small groups.
Nasty now in P8.
Okay. Anytime a Mustang isn't last is a good day. Because we all know how bad the Mustang is.
Indeed.
Which is a shame to see it do so bad on G7, because I watched other sims and it might not be the best, but it's not like just garbage.
Indeed. So the field has definitely spread out quite a bit, but we do have the battle here for P8 with Slow-Mo and Pyro trying to make a move. Might we see a double move here, like we saw in the last race where Racer 51 just followed the driver in front of him through? I believe it was Arrow on McNaughty, and able to get the double overtake done. But Pyro just tucking in behind Slow-Mo. 2 commentator broadcasters there as they come down the hill, and Pyro definitely going to have the overspeed as they come side by side here into the slight right-hander right before the heavy braking zone. It is not easy to go too wide there. Slow-Mo tucks in. They get it slowed down. Pyro getting it slowed down, and now all over the back of Nasty, and Slow-Mo losing out 1 position. I think we're going to see another overtake as we come up into turn 2. We'll get through turn 1, see what kind of run Pyro is able to get before the fast, high-speed right-hander. Pyro all over the back of Nasty, definitely getting a better exit, and now having that slipstream. He's tucked in really close. Is Nasty going to go defensive, force Pyro around the outside? He goes middle of the road, forcing Pyro to just kind of tuck back in, wait to fight another day. But no, we might have gotten a switchback, an old switcheroo coming up into the tight hairpin. Nasty able to stay ahead of Pyro. Very nicely done by the 2. I thought that was going to be a switcheroo. Want to see that again as they go through the top part.
I think Pyro is trying to. It's like It's probably kind of because I remember racing Nasty last week, and he was moving around, not intentionally, but
yeah. We can see it here. There's a bit of net code. As he chirps around the track, it can be a little bit difficult to get through, but it doesn't seem to deter Pyro at all. Pyro still hanging on the back there of Nasty, looking to get it done here. And look, they've caught up to that group ahead as well. Pyro looking to move up into P8. Nasty going defensive, gonna force Pyro around the outside, which does become the inside. So I think this is to Pyro's advantage, assuming they can keep it clean coming into the braking zone. Pyro gets it done. Can he get it slowed down? He doesn't. Oh no, that is Josh off there. Let's see what happened to Josh.
Yeah, let's see.
He's got no one around him.
Yeah, he's coming down, and it goes into the braking zone. Feels like maybe after. Then he gets on the power. Yeah, Loudfoot was a little too loud.
Indeed. So now back on board with our leader, Zilla, with a 4.2 second lead to Iron Fix.
He's extended it. It was like 3 something last time we looked.
And then Iron Fix really put a good gap between him and Yeti. Not under any threat.
Notice that P1 and P2, their fuel, looks like P4 as well, their fuel is a bit higher than Yeti. So I wonder if we're going to see these guys try to get an extra lap out of those softs.
Yeah. Get a good overcut done on Yeti, because you're right. And maybe that's why he's backed out a little bit from Iron Fix, because he was all over the back of Iron Fix. And then fuel, and we can see Nick B also in that same position as far as fuel wear, as he's been under threat for a lot of this race, as Dejan just marching up the field, man, up to P6. Right. Big shout out to D Smith. He is a newcomer. He signed up, I believe it was last week. Happy to have you. You guys can sign up now if you want to race in any of these races. Link to the website is pinned in the chat. All the information is there. Be there, or be a shape that you don't like. Because I'm not going to discriminate against squares. There's nothing wrong with squares.
There's a whole song about being it's hip to be square.
I like it. Nick B still under pressure from D Smith.
Yeah.
The blue Lambo, and their liveries are actually matching. I just realized that.
Yeah, it's almost like they're almost the same.
Yeah, two teammates, different manufacturers, and I do believe that D Smith brought Nick B into the league, if I remember correctly. So it would make sense that these guys are matching liveries. PHG Pyro in P7, catching up to the two of these guys, wanting to make as many moves as possible. Nasty with a good gap on Slow-Mo, Horn of Plenty. Josh, Angry Fredbird has opted to pit and unfortunately picked up a pit lane penalty. T. Calvert also in the pits. And Zilla now with a 6.5 second lead. Looking like he's going to have a start to finish, assuming he and Iron Fix pit on the same lap. Let's see what Yeti's fuel's looking like, because Yeti has caught back up to Iron Fix. And sure enough, I think he's got one more lap of fuel. How does that look to you, Tussum?
It's going to be really close. If he starts short shifting now, he might be able to make it, but he's low if he's going to try to get another lap.
We'll find out here shortly. All of our questions will be answered. I am on the edge of my seat. What is MMR Yeti going to do? He is in the pit. Zilla pitting early, I think. there as well. So
okay.
this is going to give a lap lead to Iron Fix.
Yeah.
As we see
Okay.
Chase staying out for another lap. So Zilla worried about an undercut there from Yeti, perhaps?
Possibly so. Because he definitely could have kept going.
We see a bunch of cars in the pits. Pyro now up to P3. That's not going to stand as Zilla comes out of the pits. Now Pyro
Okay.
just ahead. Ooh,
Yeah.
this is not good for Zilla. I guess he does need to get those tires warmed up, but if Pyro holds him up at all, this is going to be the benefit of Iron Fix, because that's just going to allow him to eke a little bit of a gap there and potentially take over the race lead. But Pyro is quick. I don't see him hindering Zilla at all, but if a big mistake happens and catches both of them out, this could be huge for Iron Fix.
All right.
Now, are you surprised at all to see Iron Fix? Were you more surprised to see Iron Fix stay out or Zilla go in, Tussum?
More so Zilla coming in because he definitely had fuel for another lap. He was close to actually saving enough for 2 laps, but yeah, an undercut from softs to mediums. I'm not sure how effective that would be because, I mean, yeah, you're going on to a fresher tire, but I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable with his tire wear at the time. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, and we did see all those drivers run out of fuel that last race at the end of their final stint. I wonder if that was in the back of their minds, knowing that that's a foolish way to lose the race by running out of fuel at the end of your stint. And so better play it safe than sorry, as Iron Fix is now in the pits. I imagine Pyro is going to follow in as well. Sure enough, there goes Pyro. That going to be a pit lane penalty.
Oh, no.
Oh, he makes it in, though, unlike what happened to Racer 51. So where is Zilla?
Yeah.
Here comes Zilla across the line. Chase in the pits. Zilla currently back into P1. He had over a 6-second gap on Iron Fix. So we'll see once Iron Fix comes out. MMR Yeti goes through as well. And no, there is Iron Fix. There's Yeti. They are closer than they were before the pits, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Zilla now with an 8-second gap, so Iron Fix not the best in lap. Because that has definitely allowed Yeti much closer and given Zilla a better lead there. Yeti with already warmed up tires, Iron Fix's tires still getting up to temperature. But
All right.
Can we check on Pyro? I think he might have I think the way he entered the pits.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a 3-second pit. I'm
I
a
thought
little
so.
surprised it didn't get an additional 1.5 second, because sometimes you can, if you cut that, they'll give you the pit penalty plus track limit penalty as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because it looked like he crossed the line entering the pits, and then he had that little chicane cut. This is a tough pit entry. It's one of the hardest in the game. I think this, Road Atlanta,
Topless is pretty challenging.
Le Mans catches me out a lot of times, but this one is definitely a difficult one just because you have to think about where you're braking. You can't just fly into it like so many of the other pits. So there we have it. Yeti keeping in the slipstream of Iron Fix, not able to overtake in the first stint.
Yeah.
He'll want to try to do something as Iron Fix goes a bit deep and gets a little squirrely. That is all that Yeti needed. A little bit of an invitation, a little wink wink, come on in. And he took full advantage of that situation. I have that flagged for a replay. We'll make sure nothing coming back on him, and we'll go look exactly what happened here with Yeti. and Iron Fix. You can see Iron Fix just goes a little deep, gets
yeah.
swirly. And yep, he can't go defensive here. Now this is a difficult turn to take on the inside. And we see
Yeah,
Yeti.
because if you turn in too early, it's definitely a curb you don't want to straddle because no car likes it.
No car likes it. There isn't one out there. And so there we have it. Yeti up into P2. Go back to Pyro, who would love to catch these guys. Now we did say, or by we I mean you, said podium for Pyro. Do you think he can close that 14-second gap, Tussum?
It's going to be really tough. He's going to have to put together 5 of some of the fastest laps we've seen around this track, but it's not completely out of the woods. I mean, between him having some pace and any type of incident happening within the top 3, it's not by any means impossible.
Look back on Chase, who has Nick B and D Smith there. Nick B ahead of D Smith in the Lamborghini. And then just behind them, Nasty has caught back up. He has had some issues this race, but Nasty now into P8, chasing down the BMW and the Lamborghini. Slow-mo in a nice happy place in P9. Horn of Plenty under pressure by Pub Josh, who also has had some issues this race, falling way back. Horn of Plenty trying to hold on to P10, keep that top 10 spot. As Pub Josh applying plenty of pressure. Further back, Angry Fredbird, Real, and T. Calvert to round out the field. Zilla pulling an 11-second gap now, almost or right at 11.5 seconds, dominating. Pyro does have fastest lap, but Zilla really putting in a nice gap there.
Yeah.
Yeti has pulled away from Iron Fix over 2.5 seconds, closing in on 3 seconds now on Iron Fix in the Lamborghini, making his strategy look real good, coming in a bit early. Seems to have been the play here.
Yeah, he's making it work. Obviously, me and Tussum were like, well, don't know about that, but hey, if it's working, then you can't really question it.
Yeah, the undercut, at least with this split, the undercut seems to be strong.
I just want to point out that Pyro's last lap was about 4.5 seconds faster than Iron Fix.
So he is moving. Look at that gap now. 8 seconds to Iron Fix for that podium. It was 14 seconds but a minute ago. So he is definitely putting in work now, coming into right at 8 seconds now to Iron Fix as they come down the downhill. So that is going to be a gap to watch. There's not many laps left in this race, but Pyro definitely getting that fastest lap and definitely making Iron Fix think that this isn't over. So he goes purple again. Gonna set an even faster lap, trying to get into the 203s. See what happens here. Coming into the final braking zone, final corner of the lap. Can he get a 203 on the board? He's got so much clean air, it's almost like running quali laps here. 203.842. Very nicely done. Putting everyone on notice, and you can see Iron Fix and Yeti off in the distance there. Pyro is coming for you, y'all. You better hunker down and get these laps in clean. Go further back and see that Nick B has gotten ahead of AGRT Chase. Nasty has gotten ahead of D Smith. Remember, it was Chase, Nick B, then D Smith, then Nasty. So we had a bit of a shakeup here in this middle pack for the battle for P5.
right.
As it looks like Smith has fallen back quite a bit actually now. A second behind, over a second behind Nasty. And it looks like Nasty's trying to put a move on Chase and not the most ideal spot for an overtake. Unfortunately, that boldness has lost him a position as he gets put into the wall and picks up damage. Let's take another look at that. Look at it this way as he sees an opportunity as Chase has to check up, going a bit deep. Does Chase leave him enough space? Oh, there technically was, but the momentum carried him into the wall, and unfortunately, Chase holds on to the position, and Nasty loses one to D. Smith.
Now we have an opportunity to see Chase in Chase Cam down the chase.
Well, Chase is now fallen back, so while we were watching that replay, Chase has now fallen back to P9.
Yeah.
So he had a bit of an incident himself.
Okay.
And as he chases down the chase in Chase Cam, there we go. Now we have all the chases done. Like you said, Tussum. Like you said. All right, let's go back up to Yeti, who's still got a good gap on Iron Fix. But look at that, y'all. 4 seconds between Pyro and Iron Fix. We have a lap and 3/4 left. I think he can do it. At this rate, he can do it. And that's a 2:03.672 on his last lap. So this is going to be very interesting to see as we go back to Nick B, who has pulled away a bit from his buddy D. Smith, who is chased by Nasty. And then Slow-Mo, because of whatever happened to Chase, is promoted up into P8. So Slow-Mo having a quiet race, but having a good quiet race.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those races where it's like it could be deemed a boring race, but boring races can more often than not give you a good result. So
yeah, so sometimes it's very nice to have a quiet, boring race, you know. As long as you're not in last, it's typically a good thing. And it looks like D. Smith now applying quite a bit of pressure to Nick B. We'll see how this plays out, and then we'll go check on that gap between Pyro and Iron Fix for the last race. As Zilla is already crossing the start-finish line for the final lap. So Zilla checked out, and we're seeing it all the way across the board. P1 pole position seems to be where you want to start, because that ends up being where you finish. Everything else is up for play. As Nick B and D. Smith really just calmly going through this. I think they might be working together a little bit. Maybe the gloves come off here in the final lap. And now we'll go check in on Pyro. Purple again, and yes, it is on
right
like
there.
Donkey Kong. Pyro, they're looking at nothing but blue and teal of Iron Fix's Audi R8. Iron Fix bouncing a little bit. Ooh, it's jumbled up there quite a bit. We'll go on the hood cam here, see a little bit better view. There's really nowhere to go for Pyro. He's got to be patient here. So we can hear the scream of that V10 of the Audi. And it sounds great. It looks great, but can it handle what the Genesis has to offer? And the answer is I don't think so. I think that Genesis operated by Pyro is a lot for anybody to handle. And you can see both drivers low on fuel. Pyro a little lower than Iron Fix. Up in the distance.
As it's nighttime.
Yes.
Did Yeti mess up in that corner?
He must have.
A lot closer to him.
He must have, because there they are. They can see him off in the distance. What's going to happen here? There's nowhere to go. Very nicely done.
Yeah, Iron was like not going to go one side or the other. He wanted to make it as hard as possible.
Ooh, as we get a little bit of a checkup, and that's contact. Pyro knows when you're following, you got to be the one to get on the brakes. And that is unfortunate as Zillow comes across the line. Let's see this again. Yeah. There's just really nowhere for him to go. It's not an easy place to overtake. And then Iron Fix, I think, catches Pyro off guard a little bit with when he hits the brakes. There's the brake and the bounce. And good sportsmanship by Pyro. And they also afforded themselves quite a lot of room to allow for them to get finished without losing any more positions. As D. Smith now comes across the line in P5 with plenty of fuel. That was a good race by them. Nasty P6, Slow-Mo P7, Chase gonna come across in P8. Followed by Nick B. Had an unfortunate last lap there. Falling back behind Horn of Plenty, who is able to jump Nick B because Nick B is out of fuel. That's Horn up to P9. Angry Fredbird going to finish 11th. Real, I don't know that Real and Calvert are going to end up finishing this race. Believe they will run out of time. You can see those brake discs glowing in the night. They are hot, hot, hot heat. And there comes Real, makes it across the line. T. Calvert looks like he ran off the track and is now pointed in the wrong direction as the timer closes down. And there we have it. Godzilla, pole position, clean race. He led all but one lap. Very nicely done. Mr. Casual, will you take us through these results?
Well, of course. Finishing in first, we have RSR Zilla. And second place, we have MMR Yeti. In third place, we have PHG Iron Fix. Then in fourth, we have PHG Pyro. We have in fifth place D. Smith. Then in sixth place, we have PHG Nasty. Seventh place, we have Phil Lexus. I do love Lexus. In seventh. And then eighth, we have AGRT Chase. Ninth, we have PHG Horn of Plenty. Then in 10th, we have Nick B. In 11th, we have Angry Fredbird. 12th, we have Real Seanman. Then in 13th, we have T. Calvert. And then finally, we have in 14th, Pub Josh.
Woo! Well, that's 4 races in the books, y'all. That was a great weekend. Again, shout out to Shaggy Doo. Coming in, putting these races together. Every single one has been incredible. This has been so much fun to watch, so much fun to be a part of. I mean, great job, Shaggy. You've outdone yourself yet again. Can't wait for next week. Next week, what do we have? That's round 8, group
Brands.
4 at Brands Hatch. So we know that's going to be another banger. Can't wait to see.
Might literally be a banger.
There's definitely going to be contact at Brands Hatch. It's just something that happens. So based on what we see here, Tussenbox, you're driver of the split, and any thoughts on anything that happened during this race?
So I have been tasked with trying to determine a driver of the day. And it may be obvious at this point, but I am stalling because I can't think of just one.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Pyro. I think Pyro's a pretty easy choice. Starting from last, almost getting the podium. There's some contact in that final chicane, but he gave up the position, showing some good sportsmanship. Overall, solid drive. Does pick up fastest lap, so we get a few bonus points there. But yeah, I would say Pyro is my driver of this split.
Very nice indeed. How about yourself there, Mr. Casual?
Um, hmm. You know, I was initially going to say Zilla, but after thinking about it, I'm actually going to give it to Nasty for doing it as with that Mustang, because we honestly know how much of a dog that Mustang is. So the fact that he finished, I think it was like, what was it, like, I forget if it was sixth or eighth, but it's like, I was like, commendable effort in the Mustang. So for me, I'm actually going to be giving it to Nasty.
Alrighty there. And I'm gonna go with Yeti. MMR Yeti, we were concerned about fuel on that first stint. He boxed a lap earlier than Iron Fix, and clearly that was the right call, able to gain one position for that solid P2. And then I do want to point out, much like Pyro, D. Smith also marched through the order. Not quite as dominant as Pyro, as he finished quite a ways back, but just one position back of Pyro. And he started in the back as well. But yeah, to what you said, Tussum, Pyro marching up the field, having an opportunity to take the podium. There was that incident there. Excellent sportsmanship, making sure that Iron Fix finished ahead of him. Regardless of what happened, is great sportsmanship. We love to see it, and we've seen that every weekend so far, of drivers accepting responsibility and not allowing anything to affect it, just letting the other driver through and continuing on. So we love to see it. We say here at PHG, great racers, better people. That's Papa's House of Game. And it rings true, and we see it a lot here in this league. Well, that ends it for us. I guess we should give a shout out to our sponsor one more time. That's right, this league is sponsored. That is Lithograph Comics over there on the Instagrams. If you have it, Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram. Y'all go give them a... What do you do on Instagram? You follow? Go give them a follow or something.
So. Like
something. I think that's another thing you do on the gram. Do it. Do it. Just do it. I'm telling you right now. Just do it. Again, I'm TK, so you guys know where my channel is because you're here watching it. Thank you so much for being here. If you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I was joined in the booth today by none other than Tussum Box. Tussum joined us last night as well. You can find Tussum over on Twitch. Go give him a follow. Mr. Casual here on the YouTube as well. Go give him a sub and a like. And yeah, I think that's all we have. Link to the website pinned in the chat. We'll be back next week. We got qualifying during the week, and then we have at least four races between Friday and Saturday. So come check it out. We would love to have you. Before I close this out, Tussum Box, any final words, sir?
I am not looking forward to brands. I mean, I said the same thing about Bathurst. I'm not really strong there. But, I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Group 4. Ugh. This is gonna be a race.
It's gonna be a
race. That's all I got to say.
Very nice, very nice. And Mr. Casual, how about yourself?
Yeah, I enjoyed the weekend, and funnily enough, I'll be doing next week's race at Brands. It's like
Awesome.
it's obviously narrow, but yeah, it's definitely something. One of the tracks that I wouldn't say I'm great at, but I'm actually decent.
Okay.
And I guess the final words for me, instead of a joke, I'll leave you with some words from the late great Chester Bennington. When life leaves us blind, it's love that keeps us kind.
There we go. I like it. I like it. Awesome, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we'll be back next week for qualifying and then the races during the weekend. Big shout out to Papa, the proprietor, Papa's House of Game. Without him, this would not be happening. Shaggy for creating this league. We're already on season 2, and it is a huge success. Thank you so much, Shaggy. Thank you, Tussum. Thank you, Mr. Casual, for joining me in the booth, keeping us company. Thanks to Oak and Slow Mo for being in the booth with us yesterday. Big thanks to Salamander. Even though he is on vacation this week, he has done a lot to help me out and make sure I was ready to go, because without him, I wouldn't have any of these slides or scenes together. Big thank you to PD Snow, Pablo Chacon, for getting the graphics together. He does an excellent job. And everybody else who I've forgotten to mention who is behind the scenes making this happen. And then, of course, to all you drivers giving us such entertaining races. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Stay tuned for some credits. It'll have all the names that I forgot listed there. And so you can see for yourself who all is involved. Y'all have a great one. Thank you.
Wheels burn on the track. PHG is where it's at. Roads long and winding, but our team's always grinding. Underneath the starry sky, engines roar, we fly. Sweat beading on our brow. Teamwork's the key right now. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victories in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. Gasoline and fire, chasing every desire. Around the curves we go. Teamwork keeps our flow. Every gear we shift feels like a gift. Speeding down the lane, victors in our name. We win together, rain or shine. PSG forever, crossing the line. like a gift, speeding down the lane. Victory's in our name. We win together.